Russia has unveiled a fighter jet that could completely reshape the global arms market. The Su-75 Checkmate promises fifth-generation stealth capabilities at a fraction of Western prices, targeting nations that can't afford American F-35s. With aggressive export plans and claims of revolutionary technology, this aircraft could shift the balance of military aviation worldwide. But can Russia actually deliver on these bold promises? Or is the Su-75 just another ambitious project destined to fall short? To understand why this aircraft is so significant, we need to look at the gap Russia is trying to fill in the global fighter market. The global military aviation market has become increasingly polarized between extremely expensive fifth-generation fighters and aging fourth-generation aircraft that lack modern capabilities. American F-35s dominate the high end of the market, but their $80 million price tag puts them out of reach for most nations. Meanwhile, China's J-20 and J-31 programs remain largely unavailable for export due to Beijing's reluctance to share advanced military technology. This creates a massive opportunity in the mid-tier fighter market. Dozens of nations operate aging F-16s, MiG-29s, and other fourth-generation aircraft that desperately need replacement. These countries require modern capabilities like stealth, advanced sensors, and network-centric warfare integration, but lack the budgets for American or European premium fighters. The gap represents potential sales of over 500 aircraft worth more than $30 billion over the next 2 decades. Russia's military aviation industry has struggled to capitalize on this opportunity with existing products. The Su-57, Russia's premier fifth-generation fighter, has faced development delays, cost overruns, and limited international interest. Even India, initially a development partner, withdrew from the Su-57 program after expressing concerns about the aircraft's stealth capabilities and technology-sharing arrangements. These setbacks left Russia without a competitive export product in the crucial mid-tier segment. Competition from upgraded fourth-generation fighters like the F-16 Volts, Gripen E, and Rafale further complicates Russia's market position. These Western aircraft offer significant capability improvements over older variants while maintaining relatively affordable prices through proven designs and established production line. Russia needed a completely new approach to compete effectively in this crowded marketplace. The Su-75 Checkmate emerged as Russia's answer to these market challenges. By designing a single-engine, lightweight fifth-generation fighter from the ground up with export customers in mind, Russia aims to offer genuine stealth capabilities at prices competitive with upgraded fourth-generation Western aircraft. This strategy could finally give Russia a winning product in the global arms market. The Su-75's design philosophy breaks dramatically from traditional Russian fighter development approaches. Instead of creating a heavy, twin-engine air superiority fighter optimized for homeland defense, Sukhoi designed the Su-75 as a lightweight, single-engine, multi-role aircraft specifically tailored to export customer requirements. This represents a fundamental shift in Russian military aviation thinking. Cost reduction drove every design decision on the Su-75 program. Sukhoi engineers leveraged existing technologies and components from the Su-57 program wherever possible, including radar systems, avionics architecture, and weapons integration solutions. This component sharing strategy dramatically reduces development costs while accelerating the timeline from design to production. The single-engine configuration further reduces both acquisition and operating costs compared to twin-engine alternatives. Modular architecture allows customers to customize Su-75 configurations based on their specific requirements and budgets. The aircraft features a modular mission systems bay that can accommodate different sensor packages, electronic warfare systems, and weapons loadouts. This flexibility enables Russia to offer entry-level variants for budget-conscious customers while providing upgrade paths for nations seeking more advanced capabilities as their requirements evolve. Stealth characteristics represent a major selling point, though Russia takes a pragmatic approach to signature reduction. The Su-75 incorporates radar cross-section reduction through careful shaping, internal weapons bays, and radar-absorbing materials, but avoids the extreme and expensive stealth measures found on the F-35. This balanced approach aims to provide meaningful stealth advantages against most threats while keeping costs manageable for export customers. Production efficiency receives unprecedented attention in the Su-75's design. Sukhoi claims the aircraft can be manufactured in just 2 years from order to delivery, compared to 3 to 4 years for comparable Western fighters. Advanced manufacturing techniques, including extensive use of composite materials and automated assembly processes, promise to keep production costs low while maintaining quality standards. These efficiency gains are crucial for Russia to compete on price while generating acceptable profit margins. The Su-75's claimed technological capabilities sound impressive on paper, but the real question is whether Russia can actually deliver these advanced systems in a production aircraft. The fighter sensor suite allegedly includes an active electronically scanned array radar with detection ranges exceeding 180 kilometers against fighter-sized targets. This performance would rival Western radars while presumably costing significantly less, though independent verification of these claims remains impossible. Artificial intelligence integration represents one of the Su-75's most ambitious features. Russia claims the aircraft can operate in optional manned or unmanned configurations, with artificial intelligence systems capable of handling routine flight operations, threat assessment, and even weapons employment in autonomous modes. These capabilities would theoretically allow the Su-75 to serve as a loyal wingman for more expensive manned fighters, executing dangerous missions while keeping pilots out of harm's way. The weapons package demonstrates Russia's attempt to provide comprehensive multi-role capabilities. Internal weapons bays accommodate air-to-air missiles, precision-guided munitions, and anti-ship weapons, while external hardpoints provide additional capacity for missions where stealth isn't critical. The Su-75 can allegedly carry up to 7,400 kilograms of ordnance, impressive for a single-engine fighter and comparable to larger Western aircraft. Engine performance claims raise the most skepticism among Western analysts. The Su-75 supposedly uses a variant of the Saturn AL-41 Farads 1 engine from the Su-57 program, modified for single-engine operation. Russia claims this power plant provides thrust-to-weight ratios exceeding 1.0, enabling supercruise capability without afterburner. However, Russia's historical struggles with engine development and reliability cast doubt on whether these performance targets can be achieved in production engines. Avionics integration promises unprecedented situational awareness through sensor fusion and network-centric warfare capabilities. The Su-75's mission systems allegedly combine data from onboard radar, electro-optical sensors, electronic warfare systems, and data links to provide pilots with a comprehensive tactical picture. This approach mirrors Western fifth-generation fighter philosophies, though Russia's ability to execute sophisticated software integration at F-35 levels remains unproven. Russia's marketing strategy for the Su-75 aggressively targets nations seeking alternatives to Western military equipment. Countries facing American sanctions, export restrictions, or political complications with Western governments represent prime customers. India, Vietnam, Indonesia, Algeria, and several Middle Eastern nations have reportedly expressed interest, attracted by the combination of advanced capabilities and freedom from Western political condition. Pricing strategy puts the Su-75 in direct competition with upgraded fourth-generation fighters while offering fifth-generation capabilities. Russia suggests per-unit cost between $25 and $30 million for export customers, roughly half the price of an F-35 and competitive with advanced F-16 variants. These aggressive prices include financing arrangements, technology transfer provisions, and maintenance support packages designed to make the Su-75 attractive to budget-constrained air forces. Technology transfer agreements sweeten the deal for potential customers seeking domestic aerospace industry development. Russia offers licensed production arrangements, component manufacturing opportunities, and maintenance facility establishment as part of comprehensive Su-75 packages. These industrial cooperation provisions appeal strongly to nations pursuing aerospace self-sufficiency while lacking the resources to develop indigenous fighter programs. Training and support infrastructure receives significant attention in Russia's export strategy. Sukhoi promises comprehensive pilot training programs, maintenance training, and continuing technical support to ensure customer success with the Su-75. Russia understands that inadequate support has hampered previous export programs, so the Checkmate marketing emphasizes long-term customer relationships rather than simple aircraft sales. Political considerations favor the Su-75 in many markets where Western fighters face obstacles. Nations seeking to diversify their military suppliers, avoid dependence on American military aid, or signal independence from Western influence may choose Russian equipment for strategic rather than purely military reasons. The Su-75 provides these countries with a politically acceptable option that offers genuine capability rather than requiring compromise on combat effectiveness. Despite impressive promises and slick marketing, the Su-75 program faces enormous production challenges that threaten to derail Russia's export ambitions. Russian aerospace manufacturing has struggled with chronic quality control issues, supply chain disruptions, and workforce shortages that complicate even modest production programs. Scaling up to manufacture hundreds of advanced fighters for export customers while maintaining acceptable quality standards represents an unprecedented challenge. Financial constraints severely limit the Su-75's development and production prospects. Russia's defense budget faces enormous pressure from the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, limiting available funding for new aircraft programs. The Su-75 depends heavily on export orders to justify continued development investment, creating a chicken and egg problem where customers want to see a flying production aircraft before committing to orders, but Russia needs order commitments to finance production. Sanctions imposed by Western nations restrict Russia's access to critical technologies and components essential for advanced fighter production. Microelectronics, advanced materials, and precision manufacturing equipment formerly sourced from Western suppliers must now be replaced with domestic alternatives or obtained through complicated third-party arrangements. These restrictions increase costs, extend development timelines, and potentially compromise performance compared to original design specifications. Engine development represents the Su-75's most critical production challenge. Russia has historically struggled to produce reliable, high-performance fighter engines, with previous programs experiencing significant delays and performance shortfalls. The modified AL-41 Farad's one engine required for the Su-75 remains unproven in single-engine configuration, and any significant engine problems would devastate the program's credibility with potential export customers. The first prototype's timeline keeps slipping despite official optimism. Originally scheduled for first flight in 2023, the Su-75 demonstrator has yet to leave the ground as of 2025. Russia attributes delays to continuing refinements and testing, but Western analysts suspect more fundamental problems with systems integration, engine development, or manufacturing processes. Each delay reduces customer confidence and provides more time for competitors to develop alternative offerings. Western defense manufacturers aren't ignoring Russia's Su-75 challenge. American, European, and Asian competitors are developing responses designed to neutralize the Checkmate's cost advantages while maintaining technological superiority. These competitive moves threaten to squeeze the Su-75's market opportunity before the aircraft even enters production. The F-35's production costs continue declining as manufacturing volumes increase and supply chain efficiencies improve. Lockheed Martin projects unit costs below $75 million for future production blocks, narrowing the price gap with the Su-75 while offering proven capabilities, established support infrastructure, and interoperability with North Atlantic Treaty Organization partners. For many potential customers, the premium for a proven Western fighter becomes increasingly attractive compared to Russian alternatives. China's J-31 program emerges as potentially the Su-75's most dangerous competitor. Beijing has begun marketing this twin-engine stealth fighter to export customers, leveraging China's manufacturing scale and competitive pricing to challenge both Russian and Western offerings. The J-31 potentially offers capabilities comparable to the Su-75 at similar or lower prices, backed by China's stronger financial position and more advanced manufacturing base. Upgraded fourth-generation fighters from Western manufacturers continue improving their capabilities and reducing costs. The F-16 Volts, Gripen E, and new production variants of European fighters offer advanced radar systems, electronic warfare capabilities, and weapons integration that narrow the capability gap with fifth-generation aircraft. These proven platforms come with established support networks and known reliability records that appeal to risk-averse customers. South Korea and Turkey are developing indigenous fighter programs that could eventually compete in the mid-tier export market. The KF-21 and TFX programs aim to produce domestically developed fifth-generation fighters that reduce dependence on either Western or Russian suppliers. While these programs face their own challenges, their eventual success could fragment the market Russia hopes to dominate with the Su-75. India represents the Su-75's most important potential customer, and Russia's marketing efforts focus heavily on securing Indian participation. India's Air Force faces critical fighter shortages with hundreds of aging aircraft requiring replacement over the next decade. The country needs affordable modern fighters quickly, making the Su-75's promised capabilities and timeline theoretically attractive. However, India's previous experiences with Russian aircraft programs create significant hesitation. The Su-57 program's failure severely damaged Indian confidence in Russian fifth-generation fighter development. India invested over $6 billion as a development partner, expecting technology transfer and production participation. When Russia failed to deliver on promises regarding stealth capabilities, avionics quality, and technology sharing, India withdrew from the program. This experience makes Indian officials extremely skeptical of new Russian fighter proposals. India's indigenous Tejas program complicates the Su-75 decision. The domestically developed Tejas fighter, while not as advanced as fifth-generation aircraft, provides India with aerospace manufacturing capabilities and technology independence. Indian defense planners must balance the benefits of importing Su-75s against the long-term strategic value of developing domestic aerospace capabilities through continued Tejas development and potential indigenous fifth-generation programs. Political considerations weigh heavily in India's fighter procurement decisions. India seeks to reduce dependence on Russian military equipment while avoiding complete reliance on Western suppliers. Diversifying fighter procurement across multiple countries provides diplomatic flexibility and reduces vulnerability to sanctions or export restrictions. The Su-75 purchase would increase Russian dependence at a time when India actively pursues closer military cooperation with Western nations. The final decision likely depends on Russia's willingness to offer unprecedented technology transfer and production participation arrangements. India will demand substantial industrial benefits, including licensed production, component manufacturing, and design participation rights. Russia's ability to provide these arrangements while protecting core technologies and maintaining program profitability will determine whether India becomes the Su-75's launch export customer. The fundamental question surrounding the Su-75 program is whether Russia can actually deliver a production aircraft that meets promised specifications at advertised prices. Russia's aerospace industry track record suggests significant grounds for skepticism. Previous programs consistently experienced delays, cost overruns, and performance shortfalls that undermined export prospects and damaged customer relationships. Manufacturing capacity limitations raise serious doubts about Russia's ability to produce Su-75s in quantities sufficient to satisfy potential export demand. Russian aircraft production facilities already struggled to meet domestic military requirements while maintaining existing export commitments for Su-35s and other aircraft. Adding Su-75 production without massive additional investment seems impractical, yet Russia's financial situation precludes the necessary capital expenditures. Quality control in Russian aerospace manufacturing has historically fallen short of Western standards. Export customers frequently report problems with Russian aircraft requiring extensive rework and modifications before achieving acceptable reliability. The Su-75's reputation will live or die based on early production aircraft performance, and any significant quality problems could destroy the program's export prospects before sales momentum develops. Technology validation remains incomplete without extensive flight testing. Until the Su-75 actually flies and demonstrates claimed capabilities in realistic conditions, all performance specifications remain theoretical. Customers understand this uncertainty and will hesitate to commit large sums to aircraft purchases based solely on promotional materials and engineering projections. Russia needs successful test programs to validate marketing claims and build customer confidence. The geopolitical environment surrounding Russia complicates the Su-75's prospects regardless of technical merit. Western sanctions, limited access to international financial systems, and concerns about long-term support availability make customers nervous about committing to Russian equipment. Nations worried about being cut off from spare parts, technical support, or upgrades during future conflicts or political disputes may choose more politically secure alternatives despite higher prices. The Su-75's ultimate impact on global military aviation depends less on the aircraft's technical capabilities than on Russia's ability to execute the program successfully. If Russia can deliver a reasonably capable, affordable fifth-generation fighter with adequate support infrastructure, the Su-75 could democratize stealth technology and fundamentally alter the balance of air power worldwide. Dozens of nations could acquire fifth-generation capabilities decades sooner than current projections suggest. Market fragmentation accelerates as more countries develop indigenous or partnership-based fighter programs. The traditional dominance of American and European manufacturers faces challenges from Russian, Chinese, South Korean, Turkish, and potentially other emerging aerospace power. This fragmentation increases customer options while potentially reducing economies of scale that have kept development costs manageable for established manufacturers. Technology proliferation concerns grow as advanced capabilities spread to more nations. Stealth technology, sensor fusion, network-centric warfare systems, and other sophisticated capabilities previously limited to advanced militaries could become widespread in regional air forces. This democratization of military technology potentially destabilizes regional power balances and complicates American and allied military planning across multiple theaters. The defense industry consolidation trend could reverse if the Su-75 succeeds. Current trends favor fewer, larger programs producing smaller numbers of extremely expensive aircraft. A successful Su-75 program demonstrates that alternative development models focused on affordable, exportable designs can generate both military effectiveness and commercial success. This could encourage other nations and manufacturers to pursue similar mid-tier fighter programs. Western manufacturers face pressure to develop more affordable fifth-generation options to compete with Russian and Chinese alternatives. The current strategy of producing premium fighters at premium prices becomes unsustainable if significant portions of the export market shift to lower-cost alternatives. American and European companies may need to develop their own mid-tier fifth-generation fighters or accept reduced market share in growing segments of the global fighter market. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.